For station 4, you will be finding the equation of the line when given 2 points. To do this, you will utilize 3 steps. Step 1. You need to find slope. To do that, you will use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I have my formula here, I have my minus signs there, and I'm ready to fill in numbers. There's my x1, y1, my x2, y2. I end up with negative 2 minus a negative 5, and then 2 minus 0. Negative 2 minus a negative 5 means I'm really adding those, so negative 2 plus 5 is a positive 3. 2 minus 0 is 2. So now I have my slope and I have a point. So I can utilize that to do step 2. Step 2 says you use slope or point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times the quantity of x minus x1, where your y, your minus, all of that is standard. So y1 goes here, m here, and x1 there. And then all I have to do is fill it in. My y1 is a negative 5. My m is a 3 over 2. And my x1 is a 0. That is step 2. Step 3 says I now solve for y. So how do I minus a negative here? It means I'm really going to add those. So I have y plus 5 equals distributive property, 3 halves times x, 3 halves x. 3 halves times 0 is a plus 0. I can write plus 0, but I don't really need to, so I'm not going to. Now that I'm here, I circle what I'm solving for. How do I get rid of the plus 5? I subtract 5 from both sides. I notice that y is officially by itself and it's positive. And the 3 half x and the negative 5 can't combine, so I just write them down, and I'm good to go. Problem number 2. I do the exact same way. Step 1 says I find my slope. So I have my fraction bar, my 2 negatives. My x1, y1, x2, y2. So I end up with negative 2 minus a negative 1, and 1 minus 0. Negative 2 minus a negative 1 really means I'm adding. So negative 2 plus 1 is a negative 1. 1 minus 1 is 1. And that reduces to just the number of negative 1. Step 2 says I build it into point slope form, where my y minus my y1 goes like that. My m times the quantity of x minus my x1. And now I plug them in. y1 is a negative 1, m is a negative 1, and x1 is a 0. Step 3 says from here I start with distributive property. Negative 1 times x is a negative 1x. Negative 1 times 0 is 0. Over here, I have y plus 1. How do I get rid of the plus 1? I subtract it from both sides. Y is by itself. Those don't combine, so that's what I'm left with. Continue to work through this page, please.